Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Championship Round podcast. Not much boxing this week of any high quality. We'll start with the most notable fight. Inoue against Kim, pointless fight. As soon as Inoue throws a shot in anger, he wins the fight. Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's about the most predictable fight ever. I mean, it was a mismatch on paper, mismatch in the ring. But what I will say is, I mean, he did actually try more than some fighters who have been in the ring with Inoue before. Not naming any names.
Butler.
Definitely Paul Butler.
Tried more in 4 than Butler in 11.
He tried.
He at least he tried. I mean, he was like outgunned, but he threw. Even if Inoue was letting him land because he wants him to open up.
I mean, we said it last week. Everything that really needs to be said about this. It's just pointless.
It was pointless, but I guess at least he stayed active, which is what I mentioned on Twitter the other day. But it's like there should be no possible reason that something like this in his career ever happens again. Like I get that it was late notice and he didn't really have much to choose from, but
That's rubbish, by the way. There was enough people there. There's enough fighters willing to take that shot.
I know, but it's like it's not gonna. It would be really unlikely for him to have to find an opponent on 10 days' notice again for him to do that.
Yep.
So
Well,
it's probably an anomaly, but I hope it stays like that because there's no reason a fighter of his caliber should ever be in a ring with someone like that much in difference in skills, like ever again, like for the whole remainder of his career. Should never be like that.
yep. It's good that that I rarely say this, but the post-fight press conference was more interesting than the actual fight. Um, Ohashi was saying that Inoue is going to fight Picasso and Ahmadiyya this year, and then if they go to plan, they're targeting Nick Ball in December, which I like a lot. I really like that 3 fight run. If I'm being honest,
Seeing Inoue and Ball in the same ring just sounds weird.
honestly, I think out of all 4 of the featherweight champions, Nick Ball is made for Inoue.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
He's right
definitely.
there.
I mean, that's what he wants. He wants someone who's going to come towards him and open up, give him openings.
And
Ball,
Ball's very small.
he's pretty tough though. He lasts probably a good amount of time.
Well,
Yeah,
he's never been hit by Inoue.
I don't know. I don't know how he is with taking body shots. I haven't really seen anybody be able to hit him with any because they
He's
don't.
so small.
They can't get that down there. But
The Ladumo Lamati fight, he took a lot of body shots. I remember that. I remember
it
that
couldn't
landing loads to the body.
affect him too much. Lamati's like
Yeah,
huge compared to him.
Lamati's a super bantamweight though. As well. This is the thing with Nitball. He's consistently fighting super bantams. The Henny, Rios.
But like with Inoue, he won't have to change his trajectory that much. He's they're damn near.
He
They're
might
like
do.
three. They're like 2-3 inches apart. So.
He might do because Nick Ball's considerably shorter than everyone else that he's fought recently. That's the thing. He's going to be punching down.
Well, he'll be punching now. He just won't be punching as far down as people like Vargas and Lamati and people like that
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
honestly,
I'd pick him to deal with him pretty easily.
yeah. Ball's footwork's too basic. He comes forward in straight lines a lot. Like, I
Look,
know
you just need to say one thing. He's British. That's it. He's British. He's losing the fight.
he's Scouse, mate. He's not. Yeah. Anyway,
I've learned from you two that that's not the same thing. So,
before we piss off the entirety of Liverpool, yeah.
shout out Ethan. That's my goat.
But yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully, he does it. And hopefully, we get no more Joon Kims. Because my God, that's bottom of the barrel stuff right there.
It's him and Depayan right next to each other.
Well, thankfully, we won't have any more Sam Goodmans to pull out the fight or not take
Yeah.
the fight.
That's another thing, by the way. Ohashi said in that press conference it cost them hundreds of millions of yen. So like 100 million yen is 500,000 British pounds, $600,000. So yeah, Goodman's never getting that fight again. He's cost them loads. Like,
I didn't even have to know the price to know that he doesn't deserve to get Inoue, let alone a title shot. Period.
but yeah, the undercard I thought was pretty entertaining. Jin Sasaki versus Shoki Sakai was probably the fight most people saw. Sasaki, man, like he's fun, he's athletic, he can punch, man. Like put some variety in your attack, man. Honestly,
No, he's a left hook merchant.
No, actually, I'm gonna telegraph every punch I throw and yank my neck to the side, telling you I'm gonna throw this punch.
Look, at least he like started fast this time and didn't really have many lulls.
You know, he didn't just showboat the entire time.
you just beat him up, and then like I was texting you, Dan. I was saying, throw the right hand, then go down to the left hook with the body, then go down to the body with the left hook, and then he does it in like the 11th round, and he hurts him.
And he hurts him, yeah.
For the first time in the fight, he does it, and he hurts. It's just like vary your work a bit. Like it's just every single shot was a left hook. Every single shot, man. Like, yeah.
Look, in his defense, someone who's not as tough or has as good of a chin would have got stopped with those punches. But when we're talking about like him being a top 10 welterweight or getting title shots, they're probably not going to get hurt by those shots.
The most of them are not gonna hit them.
Like
they're gonna see it. They're just gonna see it coming.
Yeah, because he called out all the champions in English afterwards. I mean, if he got one of them, I mean, he could be. I mean, Morris isn't very good. I mean, Boots' defense isn't very good, but he's mostly susceptible to right hands, and it's like he doesn't throw any of them.
Norman.
You know, like the last time he threw a good right hand, he got like a KO of the year contender.
Yeah, he made the thread.
Yeah, like he took KO Lara's head off.
Yeah, 2023 knockouts of the year. Fred. He was in there.
It's so annoying.
Like, that was a good right hand that he threw with good technique. I mean, he just throws it like a Dave Allen most of the time. Coming from the bleachers.
He's such a weird fighter.
Overhand with full torque on him.
Yeah, just throw a straight punch. I mean, look, last time he threw a straight punch, he got a one-punch knockout.
Or throw a punch with not 100% power on it all the time.
Yeah, because look, I mean, you fight someone or you get hit by someone who has power, and you're like, oh yeah. But then eventually you get used to that power if they keep throwing everything at the same power level. Like, you get used to it.
Everything's the same.
It'll probably hurt like hell, but it'll probably still hurt. But you have to change it up.
Yeah, you get used to the time, you can see it better. I mean, earlier, like
It makes
might
it
not be
easier
able
for you
to.
to see it anyway because he moves his whole body, telling you he's going to throw a certain punch.
Like I don't know, some like his punches are so wide. Sometimes that couldn't work in someone's favor. They might not see it coming. It depends what they're watching. I mean, they should be watching the shoulders, but if they're not, sometimes you
Yeah,
can't see those
they
really.
probably think it'll come quicker than it actually does. And it'll,
Yeah, it's when he like does those like overhand left hooks. I mean, they're from weird angles, but generally, I mean, his offense is pretty telegraphed and not varied.
he's really
But
fun. He just needs to tighten things up.
look, he is what he is. In a stronger welterweight division, he wouldn't be ranked top 10 currently.
He wouldn't be really mentioned.
He wouldn't be probably getting a title shot sometime soon, or at least being spoke about getting a title shot.
He's a fun, athletic power puncher that's got a lot of flaws. He's a bit of a glass cannon, I think.
Yeah,
Like he just is what he is. Like I think it's weird because at times I thought his defensively looked a lot better, but then he'd just sit in the pocket and eat like 10 uppercuts in a row for no reason.
yeah, because
I
I
know
think I think you could see he'd been like working on head movement and defense, but then when it got like, a bit of a tougher fight later on, he just went back to what he knew. You could see early he was moving his head a lot, bobbing, weaving, the slipping punches, rolling, but then it just stopped.
So he's developing. It just started though. So.
Yeah, I mean, if he's just now working on it, I mean, it's going to take a while for it to be fully implemented into his style.
Which means he probably needs like 3 or 4 more of these type of fights before he even thinks about a title shot or like a top contender.
he needs to go back to Salas and he needs to spend a lot of time with Salas because I think, well, firstly, you're never getting the good sparring in Japan that you are in Vegas. Secondly, like, I don't know, like, I think he needs to be with a top level coach. Like, you could see the little, like, just, he spent, I think, 4 weeks with Salas, and you could see the little things that, like, little glimpses of the Salah style when he was moving his head, when he was pivoting and stuff like that, and like that's going to do him well. That's the style that he needs to like adopt, I think, and just go there full time. Just get yourself to Vegas. Like there's nothing for you in Japan. Who are you going to spar?
I mean, it seems like he's already plateaued in his skill level in Japan. I mean, he's not going to get any better, and he might even regress. He
If he
becomes
keeps taking
complacent.
shots.
If he becomes complacent, he'll just eventually regress.
Yeah.
Eventually, just get chinned.
Yeah. There's a couple of other good fights in that undercard. That Shimamatsu, or however you say it. The fight was good.
You said it right.
I said it right. See, you got me doubting myself every time I say it. The Kai Wanatabe fight. That was an awful decision, by the way. Kai Wanatabe pretty clearly won that fight. I don't know if you've seen it, but Wanatabe won that fight clearly, man.
For Narai, since the Saka fight, he's looked like garbage.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad fight, but he spent a lot of that time like not being able to get away from a jab. It wasn't close. Probably like 7-3. I think I saw some people have it 6-4. But
Yeah.
that might be that's generous.
6-4 Narai.
Look, he didn't win that fight.
Yeah. And Takada against Kobayashi was quite fun.
Takada's fighter of the year.
He's had such a weird
comeback fight. Like he was like his record was horrible like 5 years ago.
After 6 fights, he was 3-2-1 with 2 KO losses. Like,
now he's probably like max 3 fights away from a title shot.
like he was 8-8-3 at one point.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
He was
Like,
8-8-3, and he'd gone on a run from November 2019 to July 2022. He'd gone 4-2.
was he like
So he
8,
hadn't won a
8,
fight in
9
6.
and 0 in a row now?
Then he beats Shinsuke Issa, beats Mori in an eliminator for the Japanese title, wins the Japanese title, and that has now made 5 defenses of it, and then won the WBO Asia Pacific minimum weight title. And now he's like, well, before this fight, he was number 2 with the WBA. Like, he's going to get a title shot.
He deserves one. Really.
He does, man. But yeah, that was a fun fight. And by the way, those cards were bad as well, because without a knockdown, he doesn't win that fight. That's a draw. And he won that fight clear. But anyway, we'll move on. Unless you've got anything else to add.
I enjoyed the card outside of the main event and Naoya getting a gift.
It was fun.
Well, look, the main event was bad, but it's always good to see someone like Inoue fight. And at least get some rounds in. This could have been over in a round. And that would have been a waste of time.
It was still a waste of time. True.
It was a waste of time, but he didn't do anything for like 3 rounds. We're just slowly landing here and there, letting him open up. And then Kim was just like, yeah, hit me. And he did and stopped him.
I was just saying, at least he got his viral moment, like a funny, good knockout.
Yep, and that's about all you can say. Diego Pacheco beat Steven Nelson last night. Yeah, Pacheco, man, he needs more development, and I don't think he's going to reach the heights that people maybe thought he would do.
Look, Pacheco is not the next big thing. But he will win a world title because it's easier to win a world titles these days. He's good. He's not great. He had
he'll have a belt, but he won't be championship level.
He had like a slow start. I had him losing after 4, and then he looked a lot better. And then he had the terrible last 2 rounds where he got hurt like 2 or 3 times. He boxed well. And he was kind of beating Nelson up, but there was a very bad lack of killer instinct. He had Nelson ready to go, didn't step on him, completely neglected the body. I know you like when people neglect the body, Taj Rose.
To me, it looks like Steven Nelson was a good fighter who's inactive at 36 years old. That's what it looked like to me. And maybe if Nelson was a little bit younger and a little bit more active, the fight would have been a bit different.
Also, someone not as tough as Steven Nelson would have got stopped with a lot of those punches.
He's tough as hell.
He just could have done more, or if he started earlier.
Yeah, but the age and the activity and all that, Nelson just hasn't really fought.
Yeah, I predicted Pacheco to win a decision anyway. The way Steven Nelson was talking in the press conference, I was like, oh, this guy's not getting stopped. You're gonna have to kill him to stop him.
it was that, and Pacheco hasn't really been outside of Sulecki. He hasn't really been impressive for like the last handful of fights.
And Selecki was shot to pieces.
And yeah, I was say he's Sulecki's. I swear he fought maybe one time in like 2 years, and
He
was
shot
not
to
a middle. Like he's not a super middleweight either. So
Yeah, like
Caceres, he looked bad.
just without those last 2 rounds, I mean, I think that's a good performance. Like from like 5 to 10, I mean, he looked good.
yeah, it would
I
have
mean, he
been.
was dominating. Like if you lose some of the first few rounds, that's fine. Like, but getting that happening to you in the championship rounds, that's bad. Especially after what he done to Nelson for the past 5 rounds, 6 rounds, beating him up how many times he hurt him. His car on his eye, basically ready to, yeah, basically had a finished fire.
That was horrible.
Like it's just, I think that will do him good though. Like those 12 rounds, like learning how to pace himself, learning at what point he needs to step on it, and like. But it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Could
look,
have done anything but help him. Really.
yeah, I mean, it's still young. He still needs development, and this is the type of fight. I mean, there's no point sticking him in with a guy who's going to run over him 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to do anything. This is the type of fight that people like him need at his age. Like, as long as he actually learns from it, it's going to help him.
Yeah. He's just. There's just like you know, like you get a sense when you watch so much boxing, and you can see a fighter, and you can just see that there's a few things missing, and you just like know.
Yeah,
I get that sense with him. Like there's just a few things that just don't. He's never gonna be that guy, and that's okay. Like he'll be a good fighter, but he's never gonna be that elite guy. I don't think.
no, I don't think so either.
I'll enjoy watching him though.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's a good fighter. Talking of people that are good fighters but aren't that fun to watch. Well, that's harsh actually. Andy Cruz.
No, I couldn't disagree more.
I could,
With
I
this
can't, I
performance,
can't allow that. I can't
this
allow that.
performance, I mean, he looked pretty great to me. Other than taking a few punches, he might have got hurt a bit here and there.
He got stunned. Like, I was
He
just like
looked
that.
real.
I feel like that's like the one like little nick on him is that he's been hurt a couple of times now, like inside just his short pro career, but his offense is scorched.
Look,
It's so
he
He's
pretty.
still slapping. He's still slapping.
he hurt him loads of times.
Yeah, if there was 1 more minute left in that final round.
Yeah, and he nearly finished him.
He's still slapping.
Yeah, that's fine. Loads of people slap.
I just
It's
think
effective. He is that. I mean, look,
Well, you just started. You got
he. I mean, he didn't even box that fight either. I mean, he literally just sat in front of him, making him miss at lows and just countering him. And he's so fast.
he's really good, but
he just needs to stop like being like he's like lazy at times. Like he just like
he's
"Eh,
Cuban,
whatever."
Taj.
Whoa,
He's
whoa, whoa.
Cuban. Of course, he's gonna be lazy at times. Like that's what they do.
Look, and he took a few punches from a big puncher and took them pretty well. I mean, that's a good sign.
That was like I'd say like a 9 out of 10 performance right there.
Yeah, I think that was his best performance
Yeah,
overall.
it's getting better and better.
So I just want him to send his punches over, man. Then you're looking at a real elite talent. Like
Look, we've had elite fighters that's left before.
You could tell he's not like he can hurt people. Like it's not like
And I don't think he slaps with every punch, but you know, a
he
good
can't.
amount.
There's no way he's slapping people with that like that 10th round. He had. There's no way he wasn't clenching.
Yeah, I mean, but he's definitely turning some of these punches over. Maybe not all of them.
He's prioritizing speed. So.
And I mean, that's working because look, speed kills. I mean, I'd rather get hit by a really hard punch that I can see coming than a less hard punch but that's really fast that I can't see.
Yeah, take Nitrogen Sasaki. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna get the winner of Murataya against Abdulayev, and he's gonna beat them. But yeah, I do. It's just a little thing with me. Like, I don't know. I worry about him having power. That's my only thing.
Look, I saw power.
He can
Maybe
hurt. He just started. You gotta.
maybe like you can question the lack of finishing ability in Killer Instinct. If that was a
That,
12
that,
round, if
that's
that was a
that's
12 round fight,
It's over.
if that
They
if that was a,
might have not even let him come out for the 11th round.
yeah, like if he has one more round, he's stopping him.
I don't know. It's just that I'm probably like splitting hairs, but that's just a little worry. But it is what it is. Yeah, like he's beaten the Murataya. He's beaten Murataya.
Yes, he's being
Like,
Abdulayev.
Even with that, when Murataya just completely changes what he is, like seesawing his fights. Even the best version of Murataya, he's not going to be able to do anything
Yeah.
to Cruz.
It would never happen next. It would never happen for a million different reasons, but I really, really would be interested in him against William Cepeda. I think he'd just totally school Cepeda, to be honest.
I was going to say with recent performances.
Yeah, I mean, look at the stars we've seen. The stars we've seen that give him
the fight I
trouble.
want to see.
Cepeda might not land a punch.
Because I'm I don't know, I'm a little bit of a William Cepeda low key hater, to be honest.
Low key.
I've been on his case for a few years. That's what I'll say. I've been waiting for the day that he gets beat, and it'd be very funny if a tippy tappy, slappy, amateur
See Rose and Bloom.
who's a professional novice, totally schools him, and that's the agenda that we'll run. But anyway, yeah, he. Another thing with Cruz, just get active, please. Like you say, he's just started. He turned pro like in July 2023. Like this ain't.
How many fights is that now? 7?
He's had 5.
There's no way he's had only. That was his 5th fight.
Yeah, that was his 5th fight. This is what I mean. Like, get active.
Oh no. There's no way.
I don't know why he's this inactive.
I guess it's a plus. I thought he had more fights than that, and he looks that damn good. But
Get active. Get fighting.
Well, in his defense, I mean, he's fighting much better opposition than people would at this amount of fights. So maybe he has a longer breaks in between.
Yeah, but 2 fights a year, man. He's averaging 2 fights a year.
Look, I'm gonna blame Eddie Hearn.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah. Next, because I don't want to get in trouble with them anymore. So we'll move on. Tito Mercado beat up the ghost of Jose Pedraza. He's really, really good.
He is good.
Tito.
Yeah. He is. He's massive. He's massive. He's just a massive junior welterweight.
And he's fighting a former 130, probably
champion.
Yeah, I didn't get anything from this really, but
look,
yeah.
I mean, who didn't predict Tito to stop him?
Someone stupid. Yeah.
If you didn't, you're an idiot.
It was a bit of a stupid fight. Like, it's a shame. It's like weird because he's really good, but it's a stupid fight.
Yeah,
And I
it's a
don't want to
stupid
slag
fight.
him off.
It's a stupid fight for its development. I mean, it looks good having a former champion on your resume. I get why they did it, but does it really help him? Not really. Because I mean, look, Pedraza. I mean, he threw like 30 punches in the whole fight. He didn't do anything.
Who was he meant to fight, Mikado?
I don't know.
He's
Can't
meant to,
remember.
like, last year, and it got pulled because he missed weight. The Pro Box guy.
I'll check.
Jesus Sriracha, was it?
Look, it'll be on Topology if it's a cancel fight.
I think it was
Gervonta,
Sriracha.
Gervonta Davis's best win has 7 losses now. By the way, I just want to let that be known.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
cancelled
Sriracha.
November 9th, 2024.
Yeah, that was the NS on the card, I believe. But that would have been a better fight than this. I get why they didn't rebook it because he's been unreliable before. Sriracha like blew the weight, but like that's a more meaningful fight than. But like it's just silly. Like he's a really good fighter, and like, yeah,
Yeah, he needs people that can take him round.
and he
And
needs people. Yeah,
people that can take a punch. And look, Pedraza can take a punch, but not this Pedraza.
Definitely not at this weight.
I mean, at this weight, back in the day, he could take a punch, but
he hasn't won a fight in years.
he's just a shell of himself. He should retire.
Yeah,
It should have been retired.
I mean, probably he should have just retired after getting stopped by Keyshawn. I mean, look, you know why he didn't? Because he's like, oh, he brought me down to 135. I'm a 140 pounder.
Yeah, but now they're fighting at 143. And
Yeah,
he's getting
now
chipped. So,
I've just looked at Box Rec and I can see a fight that makes sense.
yes.
Like, I don't know if they know each other, but you do know that like somebody would serve up him to Sabrina Matias in Puerto Rico.
That would definitely be fun
That
to watch.
that would sell. It would be so one-sided. But do you think Top Rank have like got enough out of him? Because Andy Hirioka's there, like Pacheco, like not Pacheco. What am I saying? Pedraza. He's gonna just turn into a massive journeyman now. Like he already is, but it's gonna get worse. Like
No, they haven't. They're gonna use him until they can't use him anymore.
squeeze every last bit of it. But
Yes.
I hope they don't do it.
Do you know who I want to see Tito Mikado fight next? Bata Drukenbayev.
Yeah, that could work.
Or Jermaine Ortiz. There are good fights for him.
For
Not
him,
like
I
prefer
someone like Ortiz.
Jeremias Ponce.
No, I want him to fight like a boxer type.
Give him, I don't know, Akhmedov.
You know who is ranked at 140 pounds on Box Rec?
Someone who shouldn't be, probably.
Prince Patel.
Oh.
Jesus Christ!
He's a top 50. He's a top 50 super lightweight according to Box Rec. Anyway,
Fantastic.
There was not much else on that card. Knocked out a journeyman. Zachary Moses knocked out a journeyman. Wasn't there a good fight? There was a good fight. What were their names? What were their names? Jesus. Israel Mercado against Rob Carver.
That just was not a good decision, like at all.
Draw. I thought it was an entertaining fight. I thought when I watched it.
That was good. It was like Rubalcava it seemed like he just didn't care.
Yeah,
He just didn't care.
it is entertaining.
He
Yeah, there
clearly
wasn't much
lost.
else.
Yeah. I wonder who got that prediction right.
Vivi, man, I hate you.
Good afternoon, Stephen.
Jack.
Well done on predicting a draw.
God, bro. Who predicts a draw, bro?
Yeah, and that made him come top of the whole Pacheco Cup prediction.
I'm so pissed.
Anyway, talking of totally pointless events, Dalton Smith.
That was just that literally could have just been untelevised. Like,
Look, I'll tell you
no,
how like it's so bad. I was sitting here in the Discord with Taj at 9:57. I said I'm giving him till 10 o'clock to stop him, or I'm going. He stopped him at exactly 10 o'clock.
You know, like there's been a lot of. I think this fight's stupid because I don't get the obsession with it. Adam Razim against Dalton Smith, and they're just two idiots.
Look, I mean, just
They
make it.
are
I
two
mean, why
idiots.
not? They are. Look, yeah.
Adam
That's some.
Azim's promoter is an idiot,
Yes, he
and
is an
he's an
idiot.
idiot, and his team's an idiot. Barry McGuigan's a scumbag. Dalton
Who?
Smith doesn't fight, and when he does fight, what's the point? What is this?
Yeah, that was very bad. Who? Oh, who did Azim turn down? It was Pierce O'Leary.
Pierce
and-
O'Leary,
and-
Montana Love, and Sean McComb.
Yeah, that's the other one, Sean McComb. Why? I mean, is it him or is it Ben? I don't know. I'll blame Ben.
I bet
It'd be Ben.
I bet it's
It's definitely Ben.
From
It's just, what's the point? He should have signed to Matchroom. Maybe he shouldn't have. Maybe, I don't know.
do you remember that period when Dalton Smith boxed and won the purse bid for the Casey Benjamin fight?
Yes.
And that fight that was just a weird period. Like it's and the thing is, yeah. Neither of them are gonna be that good.
That's why they fight each other.
No, but I don't get the obsession.
We love a good domestic dust up.
All the idiots do. But, yeah. But Dalton Smith needs to be out again quickly.
Look, he could fight again today. Tomorrow. That was a waste of time.
He should fight Arthur B. Arslanov or someone like that. Or just anyone with a pulse, man. I'm just bored of it, man. I'm bored of the whole Nazim O'Leary Dalton Smith. I'm just bored of it. Every 5 minutes, they're doing more TalkSport interviews and IFL interviews than actually fighting, and it's just, what's the point? What's the point? Adam Azim has got more opponents turned down than professional fights. Dalton Smith gets cut every 5 minutes, so doesn't actually fight. And I'm meant to care about them two fighting when there's all these other fights at 140. It's just stupid. Anyway, this was genuine. I'm looking at this card on Box right now. I don't know who Trey Debris is, but apparently he got dropped. I didn't watch that.
Look,
no, that was so good. That was embarrassing.
He scored a knockdown, I think it was in the second round. And then he nearly got stopped
He dropped him
in
again.
the final round.
He dropped
I
him
didn't watch the fight.
twice. I think he dropped him again in the fifth round. The fourth or fifth round, he dropped him again.
Well, they only had one knockdown on Box Rec anyway.
You know, he dropped him twice. And then
Nearly
Yeah,
got
yeah,
stopped.
he nearly got stopped with like the last punch of the sixth round. Like the bell rang like while the count was being delivered.
Yeah, he was finished. He was absolutely finished.
Yeah, he's just another overly muscle bound, just stamina-less bum. Really.
Yeah,
That's
and
exactly what I think it is. Good, it isn't.
and Hamza Rudin is
Oh my god!
I don't know.
I'm so tired of
He's just him, isn't he?
of everybody trying to be Nassim Muhammad.
Like him going the distance was an easy prediction.
Anyway, I didn't watch that fight either. I didn't watch Ibrahim Suleiman. I didn't
He was
watch.
horrible. Suleiman was horrible.
He was content to box, and I don't really know. I mean, I predicted him to go the distance just because I saw his opponent hadn't been stopped that much.
He was horrible.
I mean, none of these prospects
Oh,
look very, very good.
you know his opponent. His opponent was the one that dropped Archie Sharp twice.
Yes, yeah,
I was at that fight.
and he got stopped by Zalbeck, didn't he?
Oh God, I'm pitching it to stop by him. Then I'm so Jesus. Harry Scarf versus Conor Walker. Harry Scarf, I will not be forgiving you.
Look,
Nah. Walker has insane grit to pull that up. That was crazy.
Didn't win a round.
I mean, he might have won. He might have won the 8th round. That was like a peak round that he could have won.
8th. He looks
I mean,
horrible.
I said earlier. I did say he's throwing too many punches.
He was kind of like doing too good.
Yeah, because he was throwing so many punches. I was like, he can't keep this up. And then he took that 8th round off to get a second win, got a second win, and then Conor Walker came out like a madman in the 11th round because he had no choice, and just caught him with a punch. Because I was slightly ahead of you in the stream, and I was like, oh, he's done it. He's got him. It's over.
That it's been a while since I reacted the way I reacted to a live fight because that was crazy.
And no, talkers and Tony Bellew, it wasn't a bad stoppage.
It was.
It wasn't.
It was bad for your pockets. It was bad for your pockets.
I had money on Scarf, so it was a bad stoppage.
Okay. So for your pockets, it was bad. That if he threw, it would have been really bad. Like if that kept going, and there's still like over 90 seconds in the round.
Yeah, if Conor Walker didn't throw 500 punches and Scarf didn't throw 2 punches, that would have been a bad stoppage.
I counted Conor threw like a near 50 punch combination in like 10, 15 seconds.
If he wasn't so wide up on the scorecards, it might have been stopped after that first knockdown because he was done.
Yeah, he was gone.
You know how bad British boxing is, by the way?
I don't think you like it. I think we've gotten through that. I think we understand.
No, this guy was losing to Sam Antwi and Kane Gardner not so long ago.
Yeah, I don't think for an opponent like this, I don't think I'm ever picking Walker to beat them anymore. Because yeah, he's
actually. Do you know how bad boxing is?
Yes.
Harry Scarf is competitive with Karen Chakazian, who went to be competitive with Jaron Ennis.
Look, nine times out of 10 in that fight, Harry Scarf doesn't get caught, and he wins a wide decision. This was just that one time.
British boxing.
Your favorite.
What else was this week? There was a Golden Boy card. Nobody watched.
We were not there.
I watched Grant Flores. To be fair, he's a good prospect. I think.
I like Eric Priest too. But...
Yeah. You can't go back and watch it anyway because the stream got copyrighted. You can go on. You can go on. UEFA.
What? How?
There must have been a football advert or something. I don't know. On the zone, it doesn't make sense. At least when Turkey's Usyk Fury 2 card got copyrighted by UEFA, he got it back.
UEFA is idiots, man.
Well, the card is on Facebook anyway, but no one's gonna go
No
watch
one's gone out of their way to watch Eric Priest on Facebook. So.
I didn't watch the main event, but like I watched Grant Flores because I think he's quite a good prospect. But yeah. And yeah, there was what else was there? There was no boxing really.
January has just been
Was there an
garbage.
IBA? I'm making that up, am I? Was there an IBA card? No, that
There was an IBA card, yeah. There was also a Pro Box card.
Oh yes, the pro Najee Lopez. That's what I was thinking about. Najee Lopez. Just did what I thought he would do to Castillo.
A good bounce back, but Lennon Castillo, his temple area is just.
He's just turning into a like he's just getting iced constantly.
He's like wilder in the temple area, man. You hit him and he's gonna flail all about.
Wilder. You mean AJ?
All of them. They all get hit on the top of their head. They're gonna fall. So.
Yeah. Jeremiah Milton is up there with Johnny Fisher as being the worst heavyweight.
He's actually worse. He's worse.
And
that's how bad.
I don't know.
He let that tubby man beat on him like that.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
No, it's not good. And I was warned about it, and I still went back and watched it. It was bad, as I was told.
I don't know why you allowed yourself to go through that.
I was intrigued.
It was disgusting, and I feel, oh god.
I'd say if I do like the look of, by the way, the Royal Vile Saint. I think he's got quite a lot of upside. He's only 22 as well, a super welter.
He's super fast.
Yeah, I think he's got skills. He's got like raw talent. He's got some skills, and I think if they develop him properly, he can be quite a good fighter.
Yeah, I like him.
He's got that weird movement, and he's got that weird sort of length with the.
It's pretty lanky dude.
Yeah. He's got that tall length where like he extends at the end of his shots, and he generates quite a lot of power from it. Yeah, I think he can be quite good if they develop him properly. Long way to go though. And there is nothing else. Is there?
Yeah, so we have to go into the future now.
Yeah. We'll do this because it's actually confirmed, and I'm getting bored with all these rumors. The Eubank Ben undercard. This card's just a glorified Magnificent Seven, really, isn't it? It's probably worse actually, because at least like with the Magnificent Seven shows, some of the fights have like a clear direction, like they're obvious to make. But Anthony Yard against Lyndon Arthur 3. Why?
So thrown off by that. So I don't.
We need a winner of the trilogy,
but we don't.
We already know
one wins more indecision. One gets chinned in 4 rounds.
Yeah. Rubber match for the best trilogy of the decade.
You know what's weird about this? I actually picked Arthur to win the first fight, and I bet quite a bit of money on him.
Yeah, then I went and picked him for the second fight, and he
got chinned.
Got bad.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, both have just regressed so much, and nobody cares about this fight. Nobody wants this fight. Like, what's the point?
It's filler, really.
I suppose it's better than both fighting a bin man, but like,
yeah, it is better than that. I mean, we can't have another Yard against the opponent he just fought.
Yeah, I don't even know his name.
Is it Vilcans or
No,
the?
gives a damn, but it's
We're gonna
disgusting.
get to the end of Anthony Yard's career, by the way, and his two best wins are gonna be Lyndon Harper. His two best wins are gonna be Lyndon Harper.
He's gonna be known for being like tough against Viterbius.
He gave it a go against Kovalev and Viterbiev and got iced by both. One by a jab.
They would have been like, yeah, if there was no Russian champions in this section, he would have been.
He will always have the time where he emptied the tank.
This is what happens, yeah, when you get a freak of nature that's very, very stupid, yeah, and ends up spending his career with a quote unquote trainer that's acting as a manager, doesn't even have a board license to be a manager, but is his manager for some reason, and thinks the only method of training is shouting lions in the camp. Yeah, this is what happens. Because let me tell you this, yeah, somebody with that much athletic ability should be doing a lot better.
He's an athletic.
Yeah, exactly. And someone that has more skill than Andre Ward should be doing better.
Shut up.
Oh.
Shut up. Liam Smith, Aaron McKenna, why? Like what? Nobody wanted this. What? Like what is this? Like what?
Well,
can somebody explain it?
No.
No.
How do you go from back-to-back pay-per-view headlines to Aaron McKenna?
British boxing.
How do you go
the
from
only way.
Canelo Alvarez to Aaron McKenna? How do you go from Jesse Vargas at Madison Square Garden or wherever it was to Aaron McKenna?
I don't know.
I don't get
to
it.
Eubank. Lost to Eubank. Now he's stuck on his undercard.
You know what I actually think is going to happen here, by the way? I think McKenna's going to... I actually, I'm going to rephrase that. I don't think Smith's going to flog him.
Liam Smith's going to miss weight.
Liam Smith's not making it to the fight. What a random fight. A random fight that I actually do really like, by the way. Crispin and Smith against Brandon Glanton. I think that's going to be a war.
Yeah, that is going to be a great fight.
I really do like that fight. And they're two top 10 guys. That's a really good fight.
It'll leave them in the locker room. Put them somewhere else. Someone's getting shit.
Put the ref in the locker room. We don't need him.
Yeah, let it look like a Jimmy Wild fight, bro. Jesus Christ, they don't need anybody's assistance.
They don't even need a ring. Stick him in a phone booth.
They don't need any room. They're just gonna be beating on each other.
I love Crispin and Smith. He's sacrificing his brain cells.
Yeah, I think this is the fight where it's gonna his like miracle, like his Saad Muhammad miracle chin is just gonna. I think it's over with.
That's a quick turnaround off that Zerdo beating as well.
That's adding on top of the fact. I think this is the end of his like tough streak. Like he'll still be tough, but he might get stopped.
Look, he's one of those guys. Yeah, he's one of those guys that's going to get stopped. And his chin is going to absolutely go, and his punch resistance is going to be terrible.
Yeah, he's going like George.
I feel like he's smart enough to not go like someone like Joyce. I think he knows he's not the most like skillful fighter, and he depends on his toughness to win fights most of the time. So he knows he won't be able to have a super long career.
Joyce is an idiot. Crispin and Smith is not, at least. Well, Joyce can't even form a coherent sentence.
Chris is good dude.
He's fighting Patrick Corte next. Like Huey Fury stopped him in the round, and Joe Joyce is going to take him the distance. Like that's where Buckman's headed.
Get off the floor to do it too.
Honestly, Joe Joyce is at a point now where if he gets knocked down, I don't think he can beat a count. Not because he's hurt, but because he's so shot to pieces physically that he just can't get up. Like, have you ever seen like an old person fall over, and like it takes them a good 2 or 3 minutes to get up?
Look, he's
They
even
come
like
up with sections.
even like a turtle or a tortoise on their back. They just can't move when they're down.
I mean, it's going to take a good 6 or 7 seconds for him to like
even realize he's down.
Yeah.
Oh, his fall from grace is insane.
Oh, I love him. I love him, but it's just gone. He's gone.
Brilliant.
Oh, prime Joe Joyce, man. We'll never forget.
Which was not even that long ago, which is crazy.
Yeah, like, Joe Joyce knocking out Joseph Parker happened after Callum Smith's last win at 175 pounds.
We got it. We get it.
Yeah. Vidal Riley against Chevron Clark.
We don't care.
Look, I need C4 ship.
I need him. I need him back.
Back from what?
Whatever before.
Back from before lost to
Moscow.
Yeah, but he still looked like
Yeah, he still looked pretty bad against Pokey too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine.
The back
had
to
life and
not
death
being
of,
hurt. I guess I don't know.
He had a life and death of Israel Doofus as well.
All right. Well,
Look, well,
I need him to transform into something else.
We need him back. We need him back so that he's going to be on our screens regularly in life and death.
He's a fun fighter. He's just not very good.
We need him in life and death because if he keeps losing, he's just not going to get the opportunities.
He's another like athletic freak that just doesn't have a great chin.
He's another one of these guys that everyone hyped up because he was a GB Olympian, and it's just not good. He's not that good. Vidal Riley,
He's also not that good. So.
Vidal Riley has had one of the worst managed careers I've ever seen,
and he's also like injury prone. So
yeah, he might not even make this fight. Like
he's gonna have his 15th back injury. So
I just don't get it. Like he's like, say whatever you want about the YouTube boxing thing. He had so many followers from that. He had so much hype around him. He was fighting on Pacquiao undercards and all this, yeah. So then he's rematching Annie's Taj at 6 o'clock at your call.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't need to become an actual pro. He didn't need to become a pro.
No, but even if he did become a pro, like, you can utilize that following. You know what I mean? And you can actually fight.
Well,
and you can actually he's not doing either. He's not uploading to YouTube.
He was just getting injured before fights, like every time. He actually was trying to be active. He just get injured.
Don't sign with who you signed with, I guess.
But yeah, yeah. It's not like, you'll get flown into a press conference to announce a fight and then they end up not announcing it or anything like that if you sign there. That definitely won't happen. Poor old Fran. We wish her well. Of course, you mentioned this. Adam Azim should have been on this card, but he's not. I don't know what, it's massive exposure for him. He should be on this card. But yeah, I'm interested in one fight on that show, including the main event. That's Biden Smith against Glanton. The rest I just don't care about. I don't know about you.
Well, I mean, I'll watch him.
I'll watch it, but it's like, You know when you're like, they're saying it's going to be some mega pay-per-view event and like it's going to be a huge, massive elite boxing card in Britain and all that, and then you just get served like that, and it just takes the edge off a bit.
Look, they used up all their money on the main event. I'm intrigued to see just how bad Yard versus Arthur will be.
It's gonna be so goofy.
You know, I've never had this. I've had hate watches where I'm rooting for one of them to lose and look awful. I've never had it where I'm rooting for both to look awful.
This is where we pray for a double knockout.
No, not even that, because that means one of them gets a knockout.
Maybe they both don't get out. I guess they do both get a knockout then. A draw, a no contest.
That would just be no contest.
Let's have I don't know who had a no contest.
Anthony
recently.
Yard Lyndon Arthur missing weight, and Anthony Yard losing to a Latvian cab driver on a week's notice or something. Do that. But man, what a waste of a career from Yard, man. It's just annoying. But yeah, the New York card also got confirmed. For me, Devin Haney against Jose Ramirez, absolutely pointless fight. Yeah. Ryan Garcia against Rody Romero.
Build-up's gonna be funny, I guess.
See, the build-up might be fun, but I don't care about that. I never watch press conferences or follow any of the build-up. Like, Ryan Garcia's going to chin him. Roly's terrible. And Devin Haney's going to win a 120-108 decision against Jose Ramirez.
And then
getting hurt multiple times because his chin's probably gone too. So
he won't get hurt because Ramirez is washed. But he'll just dominate him.
Maybe Haney rejuvenated some of his damage, all the damage he took from Ryan. But
if Ramirez is at 147, like it might be like he might be a bit better at 147, I guess. I don't know. He did look really bad against Barboza. He's not very good either. But yeah, the good fight on that card: F.A. Jagber against Martin Bakole. I hope a Jagber cleans him out. I hope he gets.
we know why, but Bakole as a fighter, he's Jesus, he's just a huge individual, and he's most likely gonna win. Like,
he'll knock out a Jagber, unfortunately, but I hope he gets brutally iced.
It's possible. Jagber still hits hard as hell, but his it's like his chin is just worse and worse each fight. That Jagber. While Bakole is getting like better and better. Like he just doesn't care about punches coming towards him.
Bakole's time will come. Like I think he's beaten like Anderson, who a lot of people weren't that high on anyway. And who else he beaten? Takan, who was ancient, and Yoka, who's terrible. And then apart from that, who's the Russian in a life and death with?
Sergey Kuzmin.
Sergey Kuzmin, man. Jesus, that was years ago as well. Like,
yeah,
he's definitely improved, but like, he's fighting a certain type of fighter.
That was on the AJ Pulev card.
6'4" from but yeah, that's an IBF final eliminator. So you'll probably end up seeing Bakole fight for a vacant IBF belt when Usyk vacates it.
We don't need Pulev being WBA champion. We definitely don't need Bakole becoming IBF champion.
Hopefully Jabber ices him. But yeah. That's pretty much everything this week, I think. I don't know if there's anything you two want to add.
No, that's about it.
Yeah, thanks. We mentioned Ennis Stanionis on the last episode, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I think we did.
probably it then. Yeah,
That's a fantastic fight.
yeah.
I'm glad it's made. I'm so glad it's made. Because there was a period of time where I thought it wouldn't be made because of a certain someone, but it's got done. But yeah, we'll be back probably on Wednesday. To go again. It's a really, really good week of boxing. You've got Morel, Fulton. Not Morel. What am I saying? You got Morel Benavides and Fulton Figueroa. There's a couple of other decent events as well. And it's really, really, I'm really excited for that weekend.
We need to just scrap January of this year for boxing, is because February's when it really starts. Truly.
February is looking so good. But yeah, we'll be back then, and we will see you soon. So yeah, thanks for listening.
See you in episode 30.